Welcome back to my garage. As you know, we have been working on this F-150 conversion, going from EFI to carbureted. I am still waiting on parts. I finally did get the bolts in for the intake, which is obvious. I put it in. I've got that torque down at about 20 foot-pounds. It's not an extreme torque. What I'm waiting on now is a new distributor, which was supposed to be in this morning, and that didn't make it. But as you can tell, I have done some other things, like I made my own bracket here for my throttle cable. All I did is cut off a piece because it was too big. It wouldn't have never fit there. And I had a stud that fit on the intake further back. So I found a little plate with two holes in it. Bolt for the carburetor here and the bolt going to the stud. We'll tack that together and there it is. That's going to work just fine for me. It's going to hold my throttle cable. The spring on the pedal here is going to work just fine. Plus it's spring loaded on the carburetor. I shouldn't need any extra springs there. Also on the back of the valve covers, on the head actually, you had this pipe here that goes from one side of the engine to the other, which is head to head on the back side. I did remove that and all the vacuum lines. So I did, that's just a plug that was coming off the heads going down to the exhaust. I just kept that valve there and put a plug there just to plug it off for now. The piping for the pollution pump that was alongside here is gone. So I guess my next step right now, along with my fuel pump, is I got to finish with my wiring harness. I did gut out the fuel injection side of things. I really thinned out, but I want to get some looms and straighten this mess out. And I did say mess. Now the fuel pump, it says to keep it below the fuel tank. But I have to take the internal pump out, which is basically I'm going to take these 3 screws out, drop the spout. I'm going to empty the gas tank so it's not so heavy to take out of here. There's only 2 bolts there, a couple straps. But I'm going to cheat when it comes to that because the fuel lines for the existing pump are still in place. Of course, they're not hooked up to the fuel rail. They're just kind of hanging back here. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that into a gas can or a container and just turn the key on and let the existing pump the gas out for me. So that's going to save me there. Yeah, because, pumping the gas out is going to make it lighter for one. And then I have to take the tank down. I really don't want to, but I'm going to have to. The internal pump needs to be removed and put a pipe in its place. Reason that the external micro pump will not pull gas through the existing pump. So that needs to come out and put a pipe in place. And then it says to keep it below the fuel tank and below the carburetor to help prevent vapor lock. So those are other things we need to take care of. Other than that, really, setting up gas line, vacuum's not going to be a big deal up here. We're getting there. This is, other waiting for a distributor. I was supposed to get one this morning and it didn't come in. So here we go, trying again. And then I'm going to have to continue this, get this running so I can get my Jeep worked on. This thing has had an issue with a leaky rear axle seal ever since I've bought it. I have replaced it several times. And again, I have another axle seal leak. Well, come to find out, I checked it. And we have bent axle. So trying to get things lined up so I can get one vehicle going and steady and trying to get the other one straightened out and order the axles for it. Hopefully that'll be done with. Projects to no end. My coil or distributor that I do have, I tested the coil on it and the coil tested good, but when I put my one wire from the battery to the top here and I grounded it, I put a spark plug wire with a spark plug you should be able to get some kind of a spark when you spin it. And I got absolutely nothing. So I'm not even going to mess with that. I'm going to go ahead and order a new one and be done, because there is some corrosion on the inside of that. And I was just having this one out here to compare the length of the shafts here. So yeah, we're going to keep moving on. It's going to be another hot day today. So we're going to try to get this thing finished up here too. I got to take the hubs apart, get that four-wheel drive working. But we've been 96 degrees, and we're, like I said, we're in a tin building here, so easy bake oven. Appreciate anybody who checks in. Go ahead and follow, subscribe, thumbs up, the bell, all that good fun stuff. And I don't know a whole lot. I know enough to get myself out of trouble. If I can be of help for anybody, it's worth it. So you take care of yourselves, and we shall get back to you on the next episode of my garage. Thanks for viewing.